And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and Twitch. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas. And before we start, I just want to tell you guys, if you guys can please like and subscribe. And we have hit, we're actually on Meta. We're about to hit 4 million. I think by tomorrow we'll probably be at 4 million views. I appreciate all you guys watching Facebook. You guys are always really, even you trolls, man. Thank you guys for paying me. You guys are like employees. Appreciate you guys, man. But we have a very special guest today. And Jess, I'm going to have you introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right. So my name's Justin Mahaffey. I run Wild Fit Life 805. I'm a wildland firefighter and husband and father to 5 kids. Got a couple grandkids. I started Wild Fit Life in 2020, and it kind of just took off. I didn't even mean to really put it out there and for it to get the way it did. And at first, I was hiking up with a crew member, and I used to always design these workouts for us. And he told me that I should put it on social media. He was really with that, a younger guy, that other people would like to do that. So I started uploading them, and it took off. A lot of people could associate with me, and it's just real life workouts, real quick. I started making them where they were between 5 minutes up to an hour, so you could do them on lunch. Your break to get him in. So I started connecting with a lot of different people who liked it, and it took off. I've been working out since I was a kid. I come from the streets. My life's always been about survival, so I've been on my own since I was 12 years old, living like I do now. And it was always just trying to find this job, that job. Even as a kid, just getting by and getting locked up was normal. Just that was about. And I ended up, having my kids young, 2 of them. And after, just being in and out, normal, just juvenile hall, camps, county, that kind of stuff, I took custody of them when I was 23, and I never went back. I was able to stay out. I was doing construction and kitchen work at the time, and then I got into fire at 25, and I've been doing that since. I'm 43 now. It's wildland fire, not the city stuff. And, I was just living paycheck to paycheck for a long time, struggling. I used to drink in my 20s and just living that life, just still trying to chase the check, you know what I mean? And I stopped partying when my kids were becoming teenagers. That's when I got back with my wife now, Jenny, who had 2 twin boys. So we combined our family together. So life was just about surviving and us getting by. And then we had our baby girl together. So there was 5 kids. And, over the years, just working out, she watched me for a long time and then finally started joining me, got into Wild Fit Life with me. And now we have this business that we're doing together. It's the general outline.
Wow. That's an interesting story. I do want to dive deep into a lot of those areas. Before we do, I want to start with this. So you said that you started out in the street life. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how you grew up then, is you were in the streets a lot.
Yeah. So with that, my life was not like I didn't have like the family dinners to go home to, a safe spot or a bunch of cousins from the neighborhood. It was just me. And my neighborhood became my family. Very invested in that. That's what my life is about. And, still to this day, I'm still, connected to my neighborhood. I still have the same friends. I try to help my boys out and get them working out with me. I have 2 or 3 right now that have joined my program that are about 10 years younger than me, but have stopped drinking, working the program. They're still about what they're about, but living life good, taking care of their families, working out. My one boy, when he stopped drinking, he lost 30 pounds in the first month that he was with me, just by stopping drinking, really. Mm. Started working out. So a lot of stuff like that, you know what I mean?
So with the drinking, I feel like that's everybody's major, crutch that they have. I recently just stopped drinking.
Mm.
I'm going on almost 3 months now, but
Good for you. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And but I wanted to ask you, okay, what was your reason, like, because that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're partying your whole life. The reason and your thought behind you stopping drinking, but at the same time, you stuck with it. That's the hardest part. So, what was that reason behind that, and how were you able to stick with that?
So a lot of it's lifestyle. So in my 20s, like I said, I got into fire at 25, right? So on my weekends, I'd, do the same thing where we grab 330 packs, a couple bottles of tequila, and we drink them all. That's Friday night. And then barbecue the next day, drink some more, and then go back to work the normal week. But I would throw away all my progress from hiking and running and working out all week just in those couple days. And I was just on this cycle. And I was heavy. I was like, 230, 235. And that's heavy for me. So at that time, in my way. And the lifestyle, I just thought, if you watch it, you just watch people keep fucking up all the time. If it's not one thing, it's this or that. With dope too, it just ruins everybody. It ruins what we're about, ruins families. There's no good in it. And I saw that over and over and over again. So when my kids were becoming teenagers, I didn't want to keep having that party lifestyle as an example for them as they were growing up. So I decided, I'm done with it. And having the workout lifestyle helped me where it didn't make sense to have those drinks anyway because they were just in my way. Now I started chasing these goals, and alcohol would have just been in the way. Until to this day, that's what helps me.
But what was that spark? Like I always, every time we have someone on, they tell us to stop drinking. There was something that really hit them why they're like, I'm done drinking. Was there something specific that happened?
I would say no.
No?
I would say it was an accumulation of life experiences that I wanted more than anything to break patterns for my kids.
I mean, when I'm talking to you, I can tell the way you speak and the way you handle yourself. You're a disciplined person, huh?
Yeah.
And I feel like that has a lot to do with who you are and why you do the things you do. So when you make a decision, you just stick to it, huh?
Yep.
And so we were talking behind the scenes a little bit too, because we work with the Department of Forestry too. We're fire mechanics over here.
Right.
So I know a lot about the situations that go on with them. You guys are out in the fires a lot, so you put yourself in a lot of danger and things like that. So, I mean, how long you said you've been with them since you were 25, right?
Yeah, so 18 years now.
18 years.
Yeah.
And tell us a story of something that maybe a crazy story that that happened out there when you were dealing with the fires.
Well, there's tons. So a lot of time with the job, we work in a way that keeps us out of danger.
Mm-hmm.
We put fire on the ground to take away that threat. So we fight fire with fire. We get ahead of it. We try to put ourselves in good strategic positions. I would say this story that I'll tell you is because of there's a pay problem with the Forest Service.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some corrections, and it's starting to. I mean, that's a good thing. A little bit, still not enough, but it keeps us from being able to keep the right amount of people in place. Okay, so we're losing our experienced people to other agencies or just to whatever, Costco, because they can make more money and it's safer.
Wow.
But so we're in this situation where we don't have the right amount of people to put the fire on the ground. So we're just letting this fire do its thing. We're trying to check it up and do more work so we can get ahead of it. But without having the right amount of people, we can't do certain things. So we're waiting and we're doing, we're trying to do what we can do. Well, someone was supposed to be my lookout. They messed up with communication. They weren't there. We turned a corner and went down a road thinking that it was good because the lookout didn't say anything and the fire cut us off. Mm-hmm. So now we're taking heat from both sides, kind of trapped. We're trying to back out of it. And we get to this spot and you could hear the fire just running up like a train. And so I tell the guys, I actually gave them the option because I had one guy with me who had just deployed in a burnover the year before. So I asked him, do you guys want to deploy here or run down the escape route? And so we ended up running down the escape route and we were good. The engine didn't end up getting burned over. It was lucky for that because I just left it. I'd rather get the guys out of there.
Yeah.
But, there's things like that. And it has to do with, normally it's Mother Nature taking a bad turn on us, which we also try to stay ahead of by paying attention to the weather or, freak accidents like communication.
Yeah, that has to be pretty crazy. How does your family feel about you fighting those fires like that? Because I know that I've had technicians out in the field where they basically just put an umbrella out and just watch you guys.
Yeah.
If something breaks down, they go and fix it.
Mhm.
Things like that's been years since we did that. But yeah, we used to have those guys that do that, and they bring their trucks in, and basically we would, because those trucks are thrashed. Obviously, they're in the mountains, getting banged out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they come in, we got to replace almost everything. It feels like
Yeah.
we're doing a bunch of work on them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
We're taking ours to the shop all the time.
yeah, and they get like a lot of work done to them.
Yeah.
Any little thing they want it done.
Yeah.
Same with you. Is that the city? What city are you guys out of?
No, well, it's the Los Padres National Forest.
Okay,
That's where I work
when you're
for.
in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So tell us a little bit about because you even have products.
Yeah, but with my family.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that.
That question. I think they worry sometimes. Like when movies come out, like Only the Brave.
Yeah.
That guy Donut, the one who survived, he's actually in my program. He's been well, not anymore really. He just stays connected, but he did it for I think like a year and a half, maybe a little more. So we're connected with him. He's a good guy, and then we're also connected with the what's it called? The guy's wife, she has a program that helps out people. And that's what we donate to every year too. So we're involved in that. But stuff like that worries, puts the worry in them. But I think that they're pretty confident in our decision making to where she feels.
Yeah. How did your wife deal with you when you stopped drinking? How did that affect your family, and when you decided to stop drinking and all that? I'm kind of like curious on that.
Yeah. So here's the thing with that. So my wife doesn't party, and we got back together when we were 31. We used to be together when we were 20, and this is when I was on the run, not doing good, and all bad.
Yeah.
But I got busted. They were offering me, 6 to 8 years at the time. I didn't know what I was going to take or what was going to happen, and so I told her I'm not going to write you back anymore because I don't want to mess with your life. She was a mom of 2 kids, I didn't want to mess with her life. So I didn't write her back. And then decade goes by. We're both going through a divorce. We get back together. So when I got back with her, I had already stopped partying like I used to. And that otherwise she wouldn't have gone back with me probably, But then I would still drink here and there, maybe 2 or 3 times a year throughout my 30s almost, And then I just decided, no, not at all. It's just in my way. And what it does is it brings your family closer together. That's how I spend all my time. You know what I mean? I'm not hanging out, going to the bar or wasting my money on this bullshit. When I have free time, I'm either working in my fire job, working for Wild Fit Life, or spending time with my wife and kids. That's what I do. So it's brought us closer together, I would say.
I love that how you said it was just in my way.
It's in my way. Yeah.
And I really think I really believe that's completely not true.
Yeah. It
is. It's in your way. Like I have 2 kids and the same thing with me. I feel like I spend more time with them. I enjoy our moments more together.
Yeah.
It's instead of alcohol influencing you, on things, and it's in your way. I've doubled things in my businesses and things like that just because of not drinking.
Yeah.
And I really think it is a hindrance to you. People just gotta stop. And it's funny because we do this podcast a lot, right? And a lot of these guys that are becoming successful and really building themselves up, they don't drink. They all talk about how they stopped drinking, and it's crazy the effect that it actually has on you. To me, I'm almost looking at it like, is this the devil for real? The alcohol seems like so bad because it's legal. You can do it anywhere, and you're outside doing it all the time. And I'm like, to me, it's just crazy how it just takes over your mind.
Yeah.
You think you can just stop. A lot of people think they can stop, and then they're really fighting the urge to do it,
Yeah. Well, one of our sons was killed by a drunk driver 7 weeks ago, and so I'm pretty sick of the whole drinking shit. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
It just, we have kids. I have a couple DUIs from when I was younger. My kids have gone through it. My older kids, and there's nothing good about it. You know what I mean?
No. There is nothing good about it.
No. So I encourage a lot of people to switch up the lifestyle. It's in the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. I got DUIs too, and I continued to drink, and I finally decided not to. I was going through a divorce, and I just kept going crazy on drinking, you know.
Yeah.
And I just realized how evil it is.
Well, a lot of people do that,
Mhm.
especially when you go through divorce or hardship. You know,
Stress.
you fall back on alcohol or drugs, and there's no strength in it. You know, it's you got to deal with shit. You know, a lot of people when they're dealing with grief want to drink and then they cry and they think they're feeling their emotions because they're crying or going through it when they're drinking, but you're not feeling shit. You might be expressing that in that moment and feeling sad, but you're not sober to where you can actually work through the emotions that you're expressing. So it's just a hindrance. So later on, when you do stop drinking, all that shit's gonna hit you.
Boom. That's right there. You're on target on that one.
Yeah.
That's literally how it is.
Yeah.
You're just suppressing those the problems, emotions, everything, and you're gonna have to face them at some point.
Yeah.
And the problem is with that too is you just let all these years pass you by,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What was your son's name?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah. Thank you. That's why. So it's been a rough 7 weeks, and we're just we're working through it. And we heard something that's very powerful, that grief is like a heavy rock that you carry, and as you get stronger, it gets lighter to carry. You know, because it's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
So
What was Anthony like?
he was his whole life was about basketball. You know, he was happy, had a lot of dreams. Basketball was that dream, and I mean that's what we've been looking at now. A lot of little videos like that, him playing the ukulele, his basketball pictures. That's what he was all about. You know, he was always into working out and taking care of himself.
He did the workouts with you?
He did some workouts with me. He liked to work out on his own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I broke his ass off pretty good on a pretty good workout, and then he didn't want to do it that much with me after.
Yeah.
It's
Dad,
funny.
our sons always want to do different things than their dad's doing, though. They're always doing that, huh?
No, yeah, he was always in the gym because we have a gym in our garage.
Oh, okay.
And so he would go in there a lot. We tried to get him to do workouts with us, but he was more like I built him programs and stuff, and he would do the workouts, but he was more into doing it himself, and he had certain times that he liked to work out, and he had his own little program going on.
And his dream was to be a ball player?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was 25 and still just loved, basketball. That was his whole thing. So, yeah.
Was he going to school or anything?
Well, right now he just got into the wine industry, so he was kind of just trying to work different jobs to find out what he wanted to do. He was still in that stage.
Yeah. 25. Huh?
Yeah. He actually had a pretty good job up in Carmel where he was working at a winery, doing stuff like that, getting to travel to Tahoe and live life some. So I'm glad he got that.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. What was the last thing you guys talked about?
That, him being up in Tahoe and stuff like that. And then our dog, he was in love with our dog. So we were talking about that I had just bred my male, and he was having puppies and stuff. So I actually just had a litter of puppies, and that was something that we were sad about, that he didn't get to see the puppies.
How do you get through that?
Moment by moment, me and my wife have had a lot of support from people around us. My wife's strength is unbelievable. But staying disciplined. The doctor told my wife that a lot of people fold up and lay on the couch. They ask you questions like, "Are you showering?" Stuff like that. And my wife is doing all those things and they say it's because of the lifestyle that we've been living. Discipline, working out helps your body handle trauma better. And so staying disciplined is the only thing. Like right now, when I was on the way here, my wife was having a rough day, so she just went for her little 5K run just to get the blood flowing and all that stuff. So you just got to find tools and utilize them, Life keeps hitting. Life's hard. But, this isn't something that gets better, and it's an awkward question because, it's not something that you just get over or you're okay. That's why that grief with the rock is so powerful, because it's not something you want to let go or move on from or just be okay. It's different than a sibling or a relative or a parent. It's we're not supposed to bury our kids, And so you just utilize the tools and continue to find new ones. And something that I think that, that we want to do is you want to find ways to honor. So like we're talking about getting one of the kids, picking, from one of the high schools in our area, one of the varsity players each year, going and picking one to send to an NBA camp in his name, something like that. So you find ways to honor and carry on his memory with love.
Yeah, I love that part. Carrying on his memories with love. I have 2 kids, so you talking about it, like, just making me think,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in love with my kids, man, and I couldn't even imagine. And I think I just think I'd want to talk about them, keep their legacy alive, who they are, and I wouldn't want to feel good. I wouldn't want to feel good. I would want to think about them forever, like that's how I think. But I mean, I have never been through anything like that, and I am truly sorry.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you. My wife has been an amazing woman to watch, man. She's full of love. Her love for our kids is amazing. She, a couple days after we were, my youngest daughter had a play, and we went for her to continue to show up for her. Something that we're doing as a family is all my kids, I've got us in this family counseling thing. And, not everybody needs to talk if they don't want to. It's just more about, I'm bringing this up because I think it's powerful for people to understand that going to counseling or something like that can be a useful tool. Just like getting a personal trainer, you're working on your mind or your body. And I want my kids to learn tools. My youngest daughter's 10. He has a twin brother who's also 25, and then his sister's 24, and then the other brother's 23. So they're all going to process it different, So I'm taking them to this so they can all just hear and get tools, understand the grieving patterns and processes. So as they do start to work through these things on their own, they can understand some shit,
Well, I think that's powerful that you're there for them like that. You notice a lot of times things like that happen. I notice a lot of people just spread out and kind of isolate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to find a way to work through this situation. And you don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's probably hard to do, thinking to be there for your children, knowing you're going through something too, and still having to show up, still having to be there, still having to be the father they need to be, still working. I think it's different for men in a different way, because they gotta stay face,
mm-hmm.
and they gotta be the strong one. And I know a lot of times we do that. We do our own real grieving alone.
Yeah. Well, luckily, me and my wife have a pretty good bond, and we've been able to share some deep moments together. And but I don't think there's any way a man can ever understand what it's like for a woman who's carried a baby to a child, So I think she's I pay a lot of attention to her and try to keep her moving,
Yeah. 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 I get what you're saying. I can't say I understand, but because that'd be like just completely off,
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. How I want to get into what's your foundation built off of? Because I know that you're going through a lot too right now with everything. And what's your rock?
Family has been. Like I said, I took custody of my kids when I was 23, and so every decision that I have made since then is with them in consideration. And then when I got with my wife, our family got bigger. We had a baby together, and there's nothing more important to me than the man that I am for my wife and kids. That is my rock. That is my foundation. Even my social media, I make posts in case something happens to me. My kids can look back and see my dad was fucking relentless through anything and everything, and then pay attention to some of the shit I said,
It's like your journal that you're making. That's your journal.
I like to think so.
Yeah. I like that. That's your. Can you tell us a little bit about your workout journey on that end when it comes down to the business? So I know that you have different products, supplements, and apparel. Can we talk about a little bit about that?
Yeah, thanks. So with the workouts, like I said, I started making YouTube follow-alongs that were from 5 minutes to like 1,000 push-ups in an hour. The reason I designed that is because my lunches at work were 30 minutes. You know, like when we're on assignments or something. So and this is why that kid started telling me, because I would use my 30 minutes. We'd be on the line, and I'd do 300 push-ups in 15 minutes, and then I'd eat, and then I'd go back to work. You know, and he was like, "Man, you should share that shit." So my workouts a lot are designed about busy lives where you can still fit it in no matter what. And then I keep making, like with my clients, we do live Zoom workouts multiple times a week, and they'll be from like a few minutes to they're normally 20 to 35 minutes, and we just get it in. We destroy ourselves in that little bit amount of time. And then I do long workouts. I do a little bit of everything. I run, I hike, I box. I love burpees. That's my favorite get down. You can do them anywhere, and there's so many different styles and ways you can do them, hit different muscles. So I do that a lot. I started doing that when I was a kid in juvenile hall because all I had was like a little room, and I used to love to work out, right? So I used to just do my burpees, push-ups, and squats. And
When we got in trouble when we were locked up, we had to do burpees all the time. So that's kind of a thing, you know?
I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always been a part of my life, and so I kept it back in. For a long time, I just lifted heavy, you know, and that's when I was actually at a place where I was just getting by, like with my fire job. I would just do enough to where I could make it up the hill and be strong enough to get the job done. I was so into lifting heavy and I wouldn't watch what I was eating. I didn't count my macros. I was not really paying attention, just living and getting by, and that became to not be enough for me. I needed to raise the bar. I needed to set a better standard. So I started locking it in, and that's when I brought burpees back into my program. That's when I brought a lot of body weight stuff back in. I started running more so I could meet the standards that I had raised for myself.
Where are you trying to take this to the next level? Like, what's the next level for you with this?
The next level, huh? So I'm going to retire from fire in 7. I'd like to continue to build up my clients, change some people's lives, have them involved. Maybe start opening up some gyms or virtual stuff. I'm not sure. That's kind of up in the air. Right now I'm focusing on just trying to get some people in my program and change their lives and build what Wild Fit Life is. It's worldwide. I got clients from all over the world.
Wow.
So having those connections, and then who knows where it's going to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know I have a buddy that he knows, well, he talks to this guy all the time, and everything's done through social media, and everything's done through Zoom or something like that, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But he's doing like 6 figures just with this.
That's good.
And he's killing it. And I don't know him personally or anything like that, but I think like the Zoom and all that, I'm hearing that's where it's at. Like what you're doing is where it's at.
Yeah, I've been doing Zooms now for 5 years, 6 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I love them. A lot of people don't, a lot of people get intimidated by them because they think they got to match me, but you don't have to match my reps.
Yeah.
I create workouts. Like, if you talk to people in my program, you see I'm not the type of person who tries to pretend like I'm some high school football coach. That's bullshit. I just try to give people the tools. I lead by example, do the workout with me, rest where you need to. If you need modifications, I'll help you. Do it with your camera off if you're not comfortable, just to provide that atmosphere. Because if you show up to just the Zooms alone, if you're in my program, I guarantee your life's going to change. And if you do the workouts on top of that I designed for you, you're golden.
You have a lot of followers on Instagram. What do you think attracts them to you so much?
I think, honestly, that I'm authentic. And a lot of people can associate to me. I don't try to be this, like, glamorous bullshit. What I promote, what I like to spend my money on is my wife and kids and my time. You see pictures of me, it's not next to a yacht. Mm-hmm. It's at Disneyland with my kids, or it's shit like that, spending time with my wife. I don't do steroids, so a lot of regular people can associate to me. Just shit like that, and I don't talk a bunch of bullshit. I think if you want to know all the different tools, learn how to count macros, understand different, styles of working out, all the different ways you can do things, join my program. I'll teach you different shit as you progress in different ways. I don't say a bunch of shit on social media. My whole get down is kind of just like shut the fuck up and work. So if you see my clips, they're short, just getting some. And I do burpees a lot, and I show those videos a lot because it's the consistency that gets the result. So yeah, you might be like, oh, you're doing burpees again. Yes, I am. And I will continue to do that because that's part of my program. It's all about consistency.
Yeah. I completely understand that. I do want to ask, because you have like what I'm saying, the followers is crazy that you have for fitness. It's crazy. So you're like a leader in your field, right? I wanted to ask you, what is a leader to you? Because you are a leader.
Yeah.
You lead your family. You lead them to wherever you want, your morals and your family to be. You're leading people into, you're doing Zooms. You're leading a lot of people in fitness, and you have a lot of followers. So you are a leader in your field.
Yeah.
What is a leader to you?
So that's a deep question with a couple different answers, because with my fire crew, for example, I lead them by example. I show up to work. I do what needs to be done. I'll do the dirty stuff, and I won't ask anything of them that I'm either not doing or wouldn't do, and they know that. I consider them. I show actual concern for what they may or may not have going on, and I lead by example. That's the biggest key, is leading by example. With my family, I do the same thing. I don't wolf a bunch of bullshit. I just do it. Same thing. Like, once your kids hit a certain age, they're going to stop listening to you spewing the same bullshit that everybody does. Oh, do this, do that. Especially if you're saying do this and do that, and then you go in the back room and drink a 30-pack.
Yeah.
Which a lot of parents do. They'll say, don't do what I'm doing, do this, don't do what I did. So just fucking switch it up and actually live how you think you would want your child to live. So that's leading by example. With my wife and our family, there's a level of responsibility that comes with being a husband and a father, and I take it seriously. So I think by showing her the respect she deserves and continuing to go after what I'm going after, she learns and has developed a respect for me where I'm able to lead her because of the trust. So you have to build trust and a foundation in order to lead anybody.
How did you do that?
By consistency. By meaning what I say, doing what I say I'm going to do, and showing up every fucking time.
I like that. And it's just crazy because you came from the streets and you said you were doing all kinds of in and out of jail, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you just switched up your whole lifestyle. How did that's the part I'm really like, how did you, I feel like something had to click in your head, like something at some point you were just like, I'm done with this whole life. I'm going to start doing this. Because you even got back with your wife after a certain amount of time, but you even knew to tell her, hey, don't write to me no more. I'm leaving you. Like, I don't want to, mess up your life.
Yeah, she deserved more.
It's almost like your brain was already built for that. It's like you just didn't know which way to go yet.
Well,
maybe no blueprint yet.
No, yeah, like I said, I've been living like this since I was 12. So a lot of my decisions were about survival and doing what I needed to do. My neighborhood was my family, and the streets are unforgiving, so we live how we need to live. And as time progresses, some things change. Like when I took custody of my kids, a lot of people paint neighborhoods, paint homies in this bad light, and that's not my experience. My experience was my boys that are doing life or unfortunately passed away at this time. When I took custody of my kids, they were the ones helping me. You know what I mean? And if I were to do something at that time, because I still made some bad decisions sometimes, things would happen, but then they'd get on me. Like, you got your kids, stay home, shit like that.
You had good friends.
Yeah. And so like, everyone paints neighborhoods to be this, because I think the limelight gets painted so bad because of all the dope and the drinking, but there's a connection with us and a lot of real homies that grew up in the neighborhoods that is like family. And I'm lucky enough that my boys have always cared about me and been there for me. So I never did anything. I'm still from my neighborhood, and I never had to, I've always been about that. That's my family, and I mean it. But they've always supported me, like I said. So I didn't have a vehicle at this time when I took custody of my kids, but I had 2 jobs. So we had this whole little routine. My boy Black Max would come in the morning. He'd pick up Allie and Jacob, and he'd take them to the daycare. My sister used to watch them. And then my other friend would pick me up, take me to work. And then the boss would drop me back off. I'd get on, my other friend would bring my kids home. And then my other friend would come stay with my kids while I rode my bike to my other job at night.
Damn.
And then come back, and then I'd be with them.
Yeah, those are good friends.
No,
man.
yeah. So it's there's a multitude of things that changed my path at different times, and a lot of the decisions I made is because I wasn't drinking all the time. I wasn't using dope. I wasn't trying to sell dope anymore to make money. And once you stop doing those things, you get away from a certain amount of people that either want to tell on you or try to do some shady shit.
Yeah.
So different things like that. But there was a moment when I was busted. My daughter was like 2 years old, I think. Maybe 3. I don't know. But I think my mom or my sister brought her to visit me. And it was through the glass. And she was pounding on the window. And she couldn't understand for the life of her why she couldn't hug me. And so right then and there, I'm like, I'm fucking done with this place. I'm not coming back. And I got out. And I just started working. And then when I got out, I took custody of them. And just stayed grinding. And then honestly, working so much, I think probably kept me out of a lot of trouble. So I was doing day jobs, night jobs. Then when I got into fire, I was gone all the time for fires, so, and one of my homies moved in with me, and we used to call him Nanny Abby. So I could go to fires and he would watch my kids. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good friends.
Yeah.
What I feel like I'm noticing too is when you're talking about your switch up, it's like you said you were in survival mode, but it seems like now you're in living mode. You're living now.
Yeah, I think that's where most of us get trapped is survival. It could be the most extreme, to where shit's cracking, or it could be just the simple getting that paycheck every week, paying the bills, getting a loan to pay that bill. Just chasing life all the time. You got to get tired of it.
You know what I noticed too about entrepreneurs is I noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs were like knuckleheads. Like I was one, man, knuckleheads, right? Mm-hmm. And as long as we can keep ourselves busy with different businesses and work and all that stuff, we can be beasts.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These knuckleheads, if you just switch their mindset and give them a target, even if they don't really know what the target is, right? Yeah. But you just get them on a consistency, like something they like or you like or whatever the case is. A lot of times we got to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to be able to tell us what to do. And then maybe we like it. We got to figure out what our target is and just go for it.
Well, that's what's good about social media is you can get a bunch of different ideas. You got all these youngsters on there looking at it, watching it, and maybe they want to start their own shit and get excited about something like that and go down a path,
I think that'd be good for them because especially how this whole, I don't know, how this world is right now. It's just so different from when I'm 44.
I'm 43.
See, yeah, so same era, and I'm sure you see the difference in the world, how everything is.
It's a mess.
The kids, the way people are now, it's just, you can't even have dialogue without somebody getting offended.
Yeah.
It's like we should be able to talk crap to each other and then be homies right after.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
We even boxed it out. We were chilling the next day, getting girls with each other.
100%.
And now these people are nothing like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a different world out there.
Yeah, it is. It really is, And then, just speaking back more on social media, a lot of people think it's negative or can, different. Like you see all these people with their drama too, which is weird as shit to me. A bunch of guys on here acting, gossip or this and that. I got nothing to say about anybody's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just on my path, but I'm saying that to say that you can design what your feed is. Like when I go on my social media, I don't see bullshit. All I see is other people working out, motivational quotes, and shit like that, because that's what my algorithm is.
Yeah.
So what you interact with will be what your life is.
Yeah.
Or
I like that.
Media,
and that's true. That is true. At the same time, you got to realize you make it what you want it to be. Like if you want to make social media junk, you make it junk then. Yeah. Like it's like, okay, let's put it this way. I can go to some networking event. I remember taking friends to a networking event. They're like, dude, it's a waste of time. Why are we here? This and that. I don't care if I got one customer out of there or one connection to a customer. Yeah. You make anything that you do, you can make it work towards your favor. You just got to figure it out. Yeah. If you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
But you got to look for it.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing, and people just don't realize now. And I think like our era is different, so I feel like we do that. But entrepreneurs, the mindset, everything changes everything on how you think about things.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal, man.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah.
What would you tell people that are trying to get into your industry or trying to work out and trying to get fit? What would you tell those people right now? Like, what's the best way to start? Because there's hundreds of people like
I got
that.
the answer for that.
Okay.
One small move every day. If you just get up tomorrow morning, I made a post about it. It went pretty viral, actually, because it's simple. Just shut the fuck up, get up in the morning, go for a walk around the block, do a couple push-ups, couple air squats, boom, now you started. And then it progress and progress to stay at it. If you stay consistent, you don't have to do all these big moves. You know, you don't have to go in there and destroy your body in the gym to where you're sore for a week and it's misery. Small moves every day, and then the reps and the weight and all that shit will build once, you know, you're developing that lifestyle. But it's the small moves that's where the wins are at. So you get up, start building a little discipline. It's good for your mind and your body. Just get up and walk around the block. You say you don't have time, or I live in a bad neighborhood. Fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? Do some burpees next to your bed if you live in a bad neighborhood. Or if you work early, wake up 15 minutes early and do 300 push-ups in 15 minutes. I got YouTube video follow-alongs. You know, so it's just small moves. That's the answer.
Yeah, I like that. I got to get back at it, man. I used to go hard. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, you know, with a lot of people in that situation where they used to go hard, it's hard because they think that they have to go right back into going hard.
To going hard again, yeah.
And you don't. Just small moves. And if you keep showing up, there's 1 week. Now you're 2 weeks in. Now you might start, you know, remembering some things that worked for you, start implementing that back into your program. But it has to be a lifestyle. You have all these people who want to pay for a program or do this little shit for just a couple months, and it doesn't work. You have to commit to changing and making it your lifestyle, which means stop the drinking, stop all the other mess, and commit to yourself.
Tell us about your products, and we haven't got into that yet.
So I came out with my own supplement line because there's only a couple things that you really need to be taking every day. So I came out with a good, clean product that's simple. I have protein, I have creatine, multivitamins, and I even have a pre-workout and a couple other little things. But I think what you should be taking every day is protein, your protein powder, because you want to try to hit a certain protein target every day, and the protein helps with that, right? The powder. And your creatine. Take that every day with your multivitamin, and everything else is extra. Even my pre-workout, I don't promote it all crazy because I don't think people should be taking it every day.
Okay.
Like, I only take pre-workout when I know I'm going to just be lifting heavy, and that's my main focus. I'm going to tear it up for like an hour or two, just throwing heavy weight around. I'll take a scoop. That's how I use pre-workout. If you use it every day, it's not going to work how it should.
What do you think about people taking testosterone and steroids? I know those are two different things, but what do you think about that kind of stuff?
I think testosterone can be good if you go to. I don't think you should order anything online. You know what I mean? I think you should go to a doctor and have your hormones checked, and if they think that you're at an age where you could benefit, or even if you're young. I have a client who's actually, I think, 24, and his testosterone was low. I think it'd be good, hormone balance, but they do it at the doctor and do things right. I think if you're using it like a steroid, then you're probably going to fuck something up and it's not worth it. I don't like steroids just because, well, I've never done them, so I don't know. I guess I can't really speak too heavily on them. I don't have experience, but I would just worry more about like my heart, stuff like that. I'm so worried about how, like, I want to be the guy who's 95 still at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I like that. So do you have names of your products? What's the name of them? Where can they find them?
So wildfitlifefuel.com, and then it's just protein, just a couple simple things on there.
Okay.
But it's called Wild Fit Life Fuel. That's the name of my supplement line.
Okay. And before we close out, I want to give you the floor. So anything you want to, any motivational thing, any words of wisdom, where people can find you, where they can get your products, all that kind of stuff. The floor is yours right now.
I would just say, or if you want to find me, my Wild Fit Life 805 is everywhere. So that's Facebook. Well, Facebook, go Justin Mahaffey. That's the page that got monetized, so that's the one that I use. But Wild Fit Life 805 on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you want some, the YouTube's free. Go do some follow along, start building up. Don't worry about matching my reps. Just get it in and then do it over and over again, and then you'll match my reps. Right now I'm doing a special that I was going to announce here is anybody who wants to sign up in December, $50 a month for my program. That's a good deal. So I'm throwing that out there. The way I've built Wild Fit Life is it's something you can be involved in for life. When you join my program, you hit your goal, I drop down the monthly price. When you hit your final goal, I drop it down to $35 a month, and you can stay a part of Wild Fit Life for life. I'll build you programs, stay up on your macros. You still do the Zoom workouts with us. It's a community to be involved in, and that's from no matter where you're at in the world, because being involved in something is powerful. You have life has all this bullshit around you all the time, but if you can have something to be connected to that's powerful and about your growth, then you're one step ahead of everybody else.
I love that. That's really dope that you keep breaking it down for them, and they keep hitting their goals and things like that.
It's incentive too, to actually do the work.
That's dope. That's genius.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard anybody doing that, so that's dope. Me personally, I haven't heard of that. So.
Yeah, it's I did it because I want people to be able to stay involved.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want you to hit your goals and then don't just think, because a lot of people when they do a program, they do it and then they go off on their own, and then real life keeps happening.
Yep.
But if you have this to still be involved in, then fall back on, and there's a Zoom to show up to, shit like that. It's life-changing.
Well, being part of a community is huge, I think, and staying part of a community. And, I guess that's one thing you can say good about the gang life a lot of the times, if you stay part of a community, right? But even, we talk about this on the pod too, even biblically, they had the disciples. He showed that community is huge. I think it's really good to be part of something and to stay. Because if you start taking off and be not part of that anymore and just kind of doing your own thing, life gets back in the way again, and boom, then you got to go right back in. So just staying committed and start a part of the community, I think that's great, man.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what we try to do here with Howls Over Baaz, try to keep our network growing. With every guest that comes in, we end up start doing stuff with them. Yeah. Things start happening. We might have something come up, and we think of that person. Hey, maybe you should come over here. This will benefit your business or things like that. Yeah. I just think that being part of a community and networking together is huge.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So,
well, just to say one more thing, in my personal experience, life never stops swinging at you. So you have to stay on top of your discipline, of who you are, and be ready for anything all the time. You know what I mean? It's life is unforgiving. So do the work.
I want to dedicate this episode to your son. So I dedicate all these episodes to your son that we're gonna have today, and I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate that.
And I love you, man. I think that's a hard thing to go through, and I feel for you right now.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Much love.
Yeah, and our slogan is "Shed the Sheep." So we're gonna look at this camera right here, and on 3 we're gonna say "Shed the Sheep."
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shed the sheep.
Shed the sheep. Sorry,
that's okay. Let's do it one more time.
Let's do it again.
1, 2, 3. Shed the sheep. Howls Over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
Justin Mahaffey.
And I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do. It was a great episode, and we're gonna have to do this again, man.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do like a community one or something like that. You know cool. What I mean? So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock. And we out. Peace.